Is Barkley right that Shaq was carried? Charles Barkley is known for cracking jokes at his co-hosts on air. But does this jab at Shaquille O'Neal even make sense? Here's the clip.
Baby, that's why you ain't win.
He got the. I didn't have Dwyane Wade and Kobe Bryant carry me up and down the court.
So why you in the Hall of Fame? Because I got 3 Finals MVP, Chuck.
Because you
Google me, Chuck.
Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Kobe Bryant and Dwyane Wade are both Hall of Fame scorers. And the slightly fuzzy memories of Shaq on the Lakers are being outshined by the tagline, Hack a Shaq.
Fest that has broken out here at Staples.
Was it possible without these shooting guards, the Big Diesel could be sitting up at that table with Barkley? As 2-star big men without rings? Let's dig into it like Shaq dug into that hot chip challenge.
No water yet, brother.
Just nothing to me.
To start this hypothetical, we have to take it way back to 1999. The Los Angeles Lakers are starting to look like a super team with their prime 27-year-old Shaq. Plus, their young hotshot Kobe Bryant was starting his 4th year in the league. The team had acquired its playoff scars, and it was time to put it all together. They finished 67-15, earning an appearance in the NBA Finals. They matched up against an aging Indiana Pacers team. Reggie Miller was 34 and 0.1 points per game away from being the team's leading scorer. They embodied the hard-nosed, veteran-laden roster, ready to take down the young guys. Except poor 33-year-old Rick Smits didn't stand a freaking chance against 325 pounds of the big Aristotle. The only thing Smits was able to hold his own in was the nickname category. The Duncan Dutchman and Dutch Boy in the paint would give even the round mound of rebound a run for his money. Anyways, back to the 2000 NBA Finals. The Lakers would win in 6 games. Kobe had a solid series, averaging 16, 4, and 4. However, Shaq averaged 38 points and 16.7 rebounds, basically just dunking on the Dutchman. So as for the first championship, maybe Barkley wasn't aware of statistics? Let's give Sir Charles a chance. On to the next year. In 2001, Allen Iverson and the 76ers met LA in the finals. Dikembe Mutombo was coming off his 4th Defensive Player of the Year award. So if there were any series that maybe Shaq would need to lean on Kobe, it'd be this one. Right, Charles? Except that, again, didn't really happen. Kobe still hit another level this finals, averaging 25, 8, and 6. He diced up the weak perimeter defense, and the Lakers won by 5. Meanwhile, Shaq walked away with his 2nd Finals MVP after averaging against the reigning Defensive Player of the Year with 33, 16, and 5, along with 3 blocks a game. Charles, what are we doing here? Next year, he averaged 36, 12, 4, and 3 blocks. Brooklyn had literally nothing to stop him. No dunking Dutchman in sight. Both of LA's stars stayed consistent throughout this three-peat as Kobe went for similar numbers from last year, 27, 6, and 5. At this point, I feel like Shaq deserves to get some revenge on Barkley for this outlandish statement. Maybe throwing a real-life catfish was payback enough? Regardless, we keep going in this hypothetical. As we close the chapter on the LA years of Shaq and Kobe, we have to accept where these two players were in their careers. Kobe was young and still getting his sea legs under him, figuring out how to wrestle the catfish out of the water. Shaq was in his prime years, hoisting both monster fish and an MVP. Of course, we all know how the relationship dissolved between the two superstars. Los Angeles had to pick one, and they chose Kobe over Shaq. Superman would end up back in Florida, but with the Miami Heat this time, and his new young shooting guard. Dwyane Wade was 23 when Oneal rolled into town. They'd lose their first year together in the Western Conference Finals. But the next year, they lifted the Larry O'Brien Trophy in Miami. Wade was 24 years old. Same age as Kobe's first chip with Shaq, except this is where you could argue Barkley might have something here. Shaq was starting to show some age down in South Beach. He made the All-NBA first team, but in the finals against Dirk, he averaged just 14 points a game. Wade won Finals MVP, averaging a ridiculous 34.7 points a game, playing almost 44 minutes every night. The award was without question given to the right player, but the question remains, could you consider the first team All-NBA Shaq got carried? Personally, I think the term carried gets used a little too broadly. Shaq was shy of being Miami's second leading scorer in the finals by shout-out Reggie Miller, 0.1 points. He was still a powerhouse by being selected as the best center in the league. Do you know who you could say carried an entire team? Allen Iverson on his way to face Shaq in the finals? Or how about a more recent one with LeBron James in 2018? Do you remember the disaster that was the Cavaliers that year? LeBron still got them to the finals. What Kobe and Wade did for Shaq was incredible. Just as what Shaq did for both of those young guys, both parties helped each other achieve the highest goal in the entire sport: win an NBA championship. Something the big man was quick to point out when Barkley flew this jab at him.
I had Dwyane Wade and Kobe carried me up and down the court. I'd have 5 or 6 too.
Chuck, almost notoriously at this point, has never won a championship. So it's hard to take this argument too seriously since the other side has 4. Plus, I think you could spend an entire day watching YouTube compilations of these two hilariously arguing. But what do you guys think? Did Barkley's point have any merit? I know LA is Kobe's town, but there's no denying the numbers from that three-peat. I'll also go ahead and answer one question for you guys. Will the fighting between Shaq and Barkley ever end? Will Shaq ever stop mentioning to Charles how he has rings and he doesn't?
Still got 4 more rings than you, baby.
You got
no
swept?
rings. Yeah, that's all right.
Come on, man. You
Yeah,
can't
I
let
got swept
nobody
5 times. Yep.
How the hell you get swept and you're in the Hall
I
of
still
Fame?
got 4 rings, baby.
I think it's safe to say absolutely not. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this and the best carry job you've ever witnessed in the NBA.